I have so much respect for mothers, mother-like figures, women who want to be mothers one day.
You're the one I've waited all my life.
Miscarriages are very unfortunately very common. And again, it's another thing that we just don't talk about.
Women who are trying to become mothers right now.
Before my angel baby, I had several miscarriages.
And every single other mother-like title there is out there. There are so many layers to that journey and that story.
My angel baby was actually a child loss because I lost my daughter, True Faith Morales, at 23 weeks.
I honor you, I celebrate you, I love you, and I wish you a happy Mother's Day. Today we're joined on Big Girl Panties Podcast with Damika Swan. Thank you so much for joining me, Damika.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited to have you here today. We met once previously before to talk about your business,
Yes.
Tramique Sports,
Yes.
with your co-owner, Katrina.
Yes.
And today I'm excited that you accepted this invitation to come back to the podcast to talk about your motherhood journey.
Yeah, it's been a wild one. So
Yeah.
it's good to talk about it and share my experiences and hopefully inspire someone, some mother, some trying to be mother. So yeah, I'm happy to do that.
So to start our conversation, I'd like to start with a bit of a warm-up question of sorts before we get deep into the grit of why we're here. But my first question is, if you could describe mothers in one word, what would you use to describe them?
I would say for mothers, but also women in general, I would say superhumans.
Yeah.
Because of everything I've been through and other stories that I know of, women who are mothers now or not mothers now, or just women in general, the things that we go through, it's really something. So I would say superhumans is the best word to describe women and mothers.
I agree. Women, we're pretty incredible.
Very incredible.
We're pretty incredible. So I would agree with you wholeheartedly for that one. This year, Damika, will be your very first Mother's Day?
Physically, yes.
Yes. Okay.
But technically, I've been a mother for 3 years.
Yes.
To an angel baby.
Yes. You did tell me about that briefly once before.
Yeah.
You shared a bit about that experience on your last visit to Big Girl Panties Podcast.
Yes.
So I guess to start our conversation and before we go in depth, would you be able to share a bit about your experience with your motherhood journey prior to this with your angel baby, and anything else that you feel comfortable with to talk about your pregnancy journey with that, any challenges you may have faced with fertility or infertility issues, and your angel baby.
Okay. So, like I said, I've been an angel mom for 3 years now. But before that, my journey to motherhood, I would not say it was easy. Before my angel baby, I had several miscarriages. My angel baby was actually a child loss because I lost my daughter, True Faith Morales, at 23 weeks due to what is technically called incompetent cervix. The other miscarriages before my angel baby, to this day, we would never know what happened because of the length that I was pregnant with them. It's no way to tell.
Yeah.
And that's pretty unfortunate because if I knew then what I know now, my angel baby could have been here today.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I had to go through all these miscarriages, finally get to a daughter. I always wanted a daughter. I got to about 23 weeks and 4 days, and my cervix unfortunately didn't hold up.
Yeah.
It's called an incompetent cervix, and believe it or not, it happens. It's one in 4 women it happens to.
Wow.
The thing is, no one talks about it.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't have known about that.
Exactly. I didn't know. I mean, I knew about it, but
loosely.
Very loosely.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is I was watching TV and Chrissy Teigen, actually went through something similar. A week before what happened to me, I was watching it unfold on TV happening to her.
Yeah.
And so when it did happen, it was, as you can imagine, the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
3 years later, I'm still grieving my daughter. And it has gotten easier, obviously, but she would never be forgotten.
Yeah.
I carry her around with me every day. It's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about her, what she would have been, who she would have been.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with me. That relationship is something that is sacred with you and your daughter, and she will always be a part of you.
Yes,
so
definitely.
I can only imagine the magnitude of the love that you have for her, and you know, she's a part of you. She is your child.
Oh yeah,
so,
she was my mini.
Yeah.
And she looked just like me. Somebody might think otherwise, but she looked just like me.
Well, thank you for sharing that. With that, do you feel like you were supported during that? It's a tough question, but do you feel like you were supported initially when you were going throughout the experience of your previous miscarriages, and then when you went through the horrific loss of your angel baby? Do you feel like you were supported within your tribe or circle during those times?
I would say the other miscarriages, no one really knew about them.
Yeah.
It was kind of grieve in silence type of thing, which I'm sure many women do. Miscarriages are very, very, unfortunately, very common. And again, is another thing that we just don't talk about enough. So with that, I would say I had enough support with who I want to get support from, because I kept that close to my chest.
Yeah.
With my angel baby, I have the best support system.
Yeah.
My family, friends, they are the best. I did go therapy once, but I felt after going to therapy, it's like, well, every conversation I have with my friends, my mom, my dad, it's pretty much therapy. I mean, sitting here with you, this is therapy.
Yeah.
3 years later.
Yeah.
So I feel like I didn't really need to seek professional help, because like I said, it was moments where friends would come by and just sit in silence, and that was good enough.
Yeah.
People don't always know what to say, how to be there for you. I got balloons and flowers, cards, all of that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just being there, checking up on you, and I can't thank my friends and family enough, because it was a hard time. It was a dark time.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my brother messaged me. He's in the UK, so he video called me maybe the day after I got here from the hospital. He's talking, and I literally told him that I would rather her be here but me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't a moment of suicide. It was just, I want to trade places with her.
Yeah.
You know, I think the motherly instinct thing was to be like,
she deserves life.
to have another day, another week, something. You know, her life was way too short.
Yeah.
She was alive for an hour, and that's not good enough.
Yeah.
But I would say, when it comes to support from doctors and hospital, we gotta do better.
Yeah.
My daughter was 2 days away from being saved because of her age. If she would have been 24 weeks, she would have been worth saving. And to me, I don't want to. That's ish. You know?
That's heartbreaking. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have to plead to the doctor to be like, what you mean?
Yeah.
My daughter's alive right now. You mean to tell me you can't do nothing?
Yeah.
That's an issue for me.
Yeah.
You know, the tiny island of Bermuda, we don't have the resources, we don't have the equipment. Well, how many times does this have to happen for us to get those resources? or just do something, act like you care, or I don't know. I just didn't get that support from doctors and nurses, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. This is a difficult follow-up question because, especially on the medical side of things, because it's difficult to ask things in hindsight because what has happened, unfortunately. But is there anything, like, looking back, is there anything that you know now, thinking back in hindsight, that you would have wanted support for, or that you wish that you would have known differently to ask for?
If I knew this could be a possibility, and that's when I say that, I mean I've heard of it happening, but not in a million years you think it's going to happen to yourself, right?
Of course not.
But as you know, after you go through such a traumatic event, the first things you do in the first hours, days, is replay what just happened.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. You try to make sense of it. You shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You just try to be like, why? You find out why, and to this day, sometimes I still ask myself why.
Of course,
you know.
Of course.
I would say, looking back, if it's something I could have done different.
And sorry, not to cut you off, but I don't mean in the sense that you think, not that you're saying that you're thinking this, but that could change the outcome.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there was anything as far as like support is concerned, that you would have done differently or wish that you could have had differently now looking back in hindsight.
I don't think I could have gotten any more support other than after it happened. Before it happened, I was doing things that they say you should do. I was exercising, which in my case was not a good idea, but because no one knew my conditions, I literally was at the gym the morning it happened.
Yeah.
I was at the gym in the morning. This happened about 9, 10 o'clock at night. Little did I know, I was in labor all day.
Wow.
Not knowing. So that gym session that I had in the morning was probably erupted or, you know, pushing my baby to be born at some point later that night. And that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
So I would say to anyone that doesn't know this could be their possibility, because like I said, you really don't know until that day comes and it happens. Because literally I was at my doctor for ultrasound 10 days and everything was fine. My cervix was closed. 10 days. Leading up to the actual day, I noticed I was having what I now know was probably my mucus plug coming up. Now, if you tell your doctor certain things are happening, I think they would know what that is, but unfortunately, they didn't tell me. So that's another thing that I don't think I was supported in. If I'm telling you I'm experiencing certain things as a first-time mom, that I obviously don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And you have the expertise to know what's happening. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that that still needs to be done.
Oh yeah.
Out there.
I still have a lot of anger towards my doctor. Well, my ex-doctor, because Daphne wasn't gonna go through that again.
Yeah. Would you say that, I'm just curious, did you have anything in particular that you had to work on or wanted to work on or get help with or assistance with, support with regards to your mental health, your spiritual health perhaps, before you made a decision to want to continue with wanting to become a mom again? And even, I guess, like, to backtrack, even in your healing process with your angel baby and your other miscarriages, but making the decision with yourself, like, no, I still like to become a mom, and having that courage to want to try again.
So giving up was not an option for me. I've been wanting to be a mother since I was little.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, but I used to play
That's
with
not
dolls.
embarrassing.
No, not that part. I used to play with dolls right up until middle school.
Yeah.
Like, I had to write a contract. This is the embarrassing part. I had to write a contract with my mom and tell her if she ever sees me play with another doll, it will be certain consequence. I don't even remember, but that's how deep it was, because I just loved taking care of my babies. Like, you know. So to me, after every miscarriage and after my angel baby, it was hard to pick myself back up.
Yeah.
But quitting was not an option for me. It was something that I felt it was my purpose to be a mom.
Yeah.
It was something at one point I wanted to be, but then it's something I needed to be. So for the miscarriages, I didn't feel like I needed any support or help mentally. But once I got to the healing process with my miscarriage, with my angel baby, that was a whole different situation.
Yeah.
You know, she was inside me. I felt her kicks. I felt her moves. We was one at one point.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different level. So like I said, I did seek therapy. And before seeking therapy, professional help, I was very angry at the world, angry at God. My faith was gone.
Yeah.
Non-existent at that point. And people would say, you know, the cliche things of everything happens for a reason, in God's time, have faith. I said my daughter was named Truth, Faith. I had a lot of faith.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, you know, you're wrong for trying to uplift me, but it wasn't gonna work at that point, you know. So when I did manage to basically be like, Damika, we gotta do something, because you can't keep yourself in this dark place. You're not getting any happier, you're not doing anything. So I did seek help. Like I said, I went once, and I had never cried like that before in my life.
Yeah.
She asked certain questions that just took me there.
Yeah.
And that was the release I think I needed to not only move forward, but to start regaining my faith again, and knowing that it's going to be okay, knowing that it's going to happen for me. So I would say that was the turning point of my mental health, my faith coming back, and just knowing that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so important. When you were sharing that, and then previously when you shared that you found a lot of support and help just talking with your family and friends and sharing with them how you were feeling and everything. It's so important, especially with the both of those things, for your story to be witnessed. So within grief, within loss, it's so important to, once we experience a loss like that, to have our feelings, to have our loss, to have our grief witnessed by somebody else. So when you shared that you had that like crazy cry, you just had never cried so much in your life, and the therapist was like asking different questions, and you're just like releasing and releasing and releasing. That day you were having your story witnessed, and you were sharing. And in those other times where you're speaking with your close family, your close friends, and you're saying like, why did this happen? I'm so angry about this, XYZ. You're releasing every single time. So every single time that happens, your story is being witnessed. It may not feel like it, but you're regaining strength in that, and you're regaining power in that. So those things are important. So I'm happy that you were able to do that. Not to say that should ever stop happening, but it's an important part of our stories as human beings, but yours specifically within your story. I even I used to journal as well every day. No matter what I was feeling, I would write it down in my notes in my phone. And I still have them. To this day, I would every now and then look back and reread. And it's amazing how far I have come. It's amazing the feelings that I had felt then. Some of them still do, but I see it in a different light. I see it in a clearer and not such in a dark way. But journaling definitely helped. Definitely. I'm a huge fan of journaling, but there's power, like we said, just being able to release, and even just within yourself. Even like before you're ready to share that with somebody else, or even if you never want to share that with somebody else, and you just share that with you, You could say that you're writing a letter to your angel baby or
Yeah.
whatever. You're just like releasing that, and that's sacred. So
Yeah.
that's powerful. This year will be your second Mother's Day. Second Mother's Day? Third Mother's Day?
Third, yes. Physical
First.
Yes.
Yeah. So saying your third Mother's Day and your first physical Mother's Day
Yes.
with your baby boy,
Yes.
Jet.
Yes.
How's
Lord.
that going to be for you this year?
Ooh. This can be everything.
Yeah.
It's one thing to sorry, I don't want to say it's one thing.
It's okay.
Being an angel mom for
Mhm.
3 years, 2.5 before my son.
Yeah.
So, it's been three Mother's Days have come between the time I lost my daughter till the time I had my son. 2 of those mothers, well, I say all 3 of them were hard.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the one right after. I didn't celebrate even my own mom, and that's terrible
Yeah.
because she's definitely been one of my backbones through this whole process. But of course, she totally understood.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got pregnant with my son, that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing harder than pregnancy after loss.
Yeah.
It's one thing to keep trying to have a kid, a baby, and which I did. Once I lost my angel baby, it was a matter of, okay, once I was on my healing journey, I want to try again,
Mm-hmm.
which I did. It took about 2.5 years. One of those reasons is because I was then struck with another situation. I don't know what to call it. I was diagnosed with endometriosis,
Mm-hmm.
which causes infertility.
Yeah.
So after everything I went through with my angel baby, I now get a rock thrown at me, or another path that I need to cross, a mountain to climb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, why me?
Yeah.
I just went through all this, and you mean to tell me you're going to make it harder?
Yeah.
So I had to undergo surgery overseas, and luckily it was a success.
Mm-hmm.
And literally a month later, I was pregnant with my son.
Amen.
And that was the scariest day. It was Christmas Day,
Mm-hmm.
2022. And I felt it. I just know my body, so
Yeah.
I felt it.
Yeah.
I've been pregnant how many times before
Yeah,
then, so
yeah.
I knew.
It's felt. Yeah.
But nothing was going to tell me to take a test. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I think I waited a few days and took a test. And it was the weirdest moment because you're scared that you know what it's going to say,
Mm-hmm.
and you want it to say that, but at the same time, once it says that, it confirms it,
Yeah. It's real.
and then a different type of scared or anxious
Yeah.
sets in,
Yeah.
which exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, because I feel like I went off your
No,
question.
no, but you answer that. Yeah.
This year, Mother's Day, I can't put into words what it's going to mean to me,
Yeah.
because I'm finally here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it took a long time.
Yeah.
And some people might say, it took 3 years. And I'm sure other people's took longer.
Yeah.
And I don't take that away from anybody. Everyone has their own journey and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
For me, after everything I've been through, it's finally here, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to tell you later.
Yeah, you're like, I can't even put into words, yeah.
I can't put into words of how I'm gonna feel that day. I already feel emotional about it now, and it's another few days until Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a sense of, I made it, Mama, I'm here, type of thing. Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you. I'm trying to contain myself.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited for you. This Mother's Day means everything. And I, just like I said, it's like I hold so much space and love and honor for women like you, women who are incredible mothers like yourself, women who are trying to become mothers, women who are mother-like figures. But my God, I know that this is just the tip of the iceberg of your story. And I'm already like overflowing with honor and gratitude for you. So I can only imagine how great it's going to be for you. So happy Mother's Day, like you know, when that comes, and well, afterwards when this comes out. But happy Mother's Day to you and all the other incredible moms. My goodness.
I also want to add, so last Mother's Day, I was pregnant with my son. And being that it's not a rare diagnostics, but being I was diagnosed with a incompetent cervix, this time around, I was on my P's and Q's.
Yeah.
So they do what is called a stitch. I had ultrasound every week, because last time it was 10 days, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We are going to check me every week. So every Sunday I was in an ultrasound room making sure that cervix was cleansed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, around the same time as my daughter, my cervix started opening.
Goodness.
So, of course, that was another criable moment.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this can't be deja vu.
Yeah.
So the next day, I went into surgery, and I got the stitch put in. So the stitch is supposed to help keep your cervix closed.
Okay.
Best case scenario is they want you to make it to at least 30 weeks. After the 30 weeks, you're pretty much have a full-grown baby, pretty much, and you're safe.
Yeah.
So that was the hope. Unfortunately, that did not happen with me. I did get the stitch, which meant I was on bed rest. So I was on bed rest for 2.5 months.
Okay.
And bed rest meaning literally bed.
Yeah.
Anytime I get up is to shower, I use the bathroom.
Yeah.
God bless my mama. She cooked
Yeah.
and brought me my meals every day. My dad reconstructed or ordered a desk so I can literally work from home. My job was very supportive. But yeah, the only time I left the house was to go to that appointment to make sure my stitch was still in place.
Wow. So yeah, so this Mother's Day is a big Mother's Day for you and your entire tribe, your support
100%.
system. Yeah.
This baby is not just, my son is not just my son.
Yeah.
He has a lot of mothers and a lot of fathers that have prayed and took care of him while he was inside me to make sure that he was here.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah.
And so he did come premature at 29 weeks and a few days, just before the 30 months.
Weeks,
so
goodness.
again, I'm like, oh gracious, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But luckily, he was a strong one, came out kicking, literally. He was still kicking inside me, and water broke to telling me I need to push, and he's still kicking. Like, you don't even want to come out. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But, luckily he came out breathing on his own, and that's normally not a 29-weeker.
Wow.
Normally they do need help, and normally they have to send him overseas. So the first 24 hours was kind of crucial as to, is he going to stay here or not? But like I said, that's one strong baby, and he's proved that since day one.
Wow.
He never had to leave the hospital. He never had to go overseas. He was in the hospital for 52 days. And that in itself was a journey as well.
Of course.
But yeah, he's here. So, like I said, last Mother's Day, I was pregnant with him, not knowing if I was actually going to be here this Mother's Day, physically holding him.
Yeah.
And that's what pregnancy after loss does to you.
Yeah.
Every day you're pregnant is a blessing. Every day you wake up and you feel him kick is a blessing. Yeah.
Just to go backwards just a little bit, like throughout your pregnancy journey, is there anything else that you would say that you chose to do or had to do to support yourself throughout the pregnancy journey? So you mentioned about how frequent you went and had an ultrasound, and then you also mentioned, medically what you ended up having to do, bed rest during the latter part of your pregnancy journey. But was there anything else that you chose to do throughout your journey, just in case it helps any other mothers or potential mothers out there, especially after dealing with
a loss,
or
pregnancy after loss.
Pregnancy after loss, sorry.
Gospel music. Kirk Franklin,
Hello.
My Life is in Your Hands. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That, I'm surprised my baby didn't come out singing it. I would be listening to it non-stop.
Yeah.
I would have like a devotion every morning. And to this day, I still do.
Good.
Every morning when we're on our way to dropping him to nursery, I still play these same songs.
Yeah.
And he be singing.
Yeah.
He not in tune, but he be singing. But it was definitely just trying to be like, I'm gonna get there. I kept repeating this. It was my own mantra.
Yes.
I'm gonna get there. And I just try to relax. I try to, and relax is very hard to do, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just try to relax and think positive, try to be optimistic. It's when you're bed rest, you really can't do much. So you're literally alone with yourself, other than who comes to visit you.
Yeah.
But when you are by yourself, you're alone with yourself and your own thoughts. And having gone through what you have went through, sometimes those thoughts are not good because you're replaying those thoughts from before, replaying what happened. So listening to gospel music or binge watching Netflix or something positive. I would even look up different surviving stories.
Yeah.
Other people in, obviously, social media, pregnancy after loss. I'll just type that in.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the amount of stories that are out there.
Oh yeah.
So that was definitely inspiring, and knowing that, okay, they can do it, I can do it. Some situations were far worse than mine, some were not as bad as mine, but the point was that I'm not alone. And though I had the support of my family and friends, none of them had went through what I've gone through.
Yeah.
So no one was relatable in the sense of them being able to really say, okay, I know how you're feeling. They can say that, but they don't know how I'm feeling.
Right.
So, that's what I did to keep myself close to my faith and encouraged. Yeah.
Present day, you spoke of how great your family is and how you have such a loving support system, how Jet has such a loving support system. Would you say there's anything that you currently don't have that you wish that you did have?
I mean, I don't want to say I have it all, but that's a hard question to answer, to be honest.
Besides, like, $1 million.
I mean, honestly, I can't think of one thing that I can say that I need when it comes to my son, or my own well-being or mental health. I feel like him and I are very well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a blessing. Kind of combining this question, asking you if you have any words of encouragement for women who have gone through something similar to yours.
Mm-hmm.
So fertility challenges,
Mm-hmm.
or miscarriages,
Mm-hmm.
or having an angel baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start there. Do you have any words of comfort or encouragement that you could offer those ladies?
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to go public,
Mm-hmm.
because I could have kept my angel baby to myself
Yeah.
in somewhat of a capacity, because people saw me pregnant, so eventually people was going to find out.
Yeah.
But on my angel baby's due date, I posted that I had lost her, and didn't go into detail, but I got a lot of response, a lot of support, but a lot of response in, you give me hope,
Mm-hmm.
you're an inspiration, you're brave, all of these things. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go public with that
Mm-hmm.
post was because I never saw that in Bermuda.
Yeah.
I had to look elsewhere to find someone to relate to.
Yeah.
So if I could touch someone with my story, whether it was my angel baby and then now my son, I want to do that, which is another reason why I'm sitting here having this conversation with you.
Thank you.
So, people talk about purposes in life. I don't think this was my purpose to have an angel baby, but I can turn what happened to me and turn it into a purpose and help someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get through whatever they need to get through. And it's you asked me that, and it's probably been about 3 months now, I got the message almost identical to what I sent out to my friends when I lost my angel baby, from a friend of mine.
Mm.
A friend that I've had for over 10 years. She messaged me first thing in the morning with her message about her now angel baby.
Yeah.
And when I say it was deja vu, like I broke down.
Yeah.
Like it was happening to me all over again.
Yeah.
Because you never want to wish this on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want anyone to go through this, but you definitely don't want your loved one or a friend to go through. It's a different experience. It hits home type of thing. So when she messaged me, it rattled me.
Yeah.
I honestly just grabbed my son and bawled my eyes out.
Yeah.
Because now she is going to endure what I've been enduring.
Yeah.
And I don't want that for her.
Yeah.
But she's doing relatively good,
Yeah.
what is what to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
And I check on her every now and then. You try not to be too pushy.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't want that. But I tell her about journaling and telling her her feelings are valid. Whatever you're feeling, feel it. Whatever you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who's trying to tell you, give you cliche answers, comments, tell them to shut up if you need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because no one knows what you're going through.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately that there are women still out there in Bermuda and around the world that are going through what I've been through,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately will go through what I've been through.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's no answer as to why this happens, and who's it going to happen to.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can say is you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at least I've got comfort in knowing that it's not me. It's not something wrong with me that this is why it happened.
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people out there. And I don't know if you know, but it was a GoFundMe page going around
Mm-hmm.
of a woman that lost her baby. She now has an angel baby
Mm-hmm.
and wants to have a funeral and all of that.
Yeah.
And this was just maybe a few weeks ago.
Wow.
I'm not sure of her story,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it's close to mine.
Yeah.
So the best thing I can say to someone that's been in my position, trying to have a baby, is you're not alone. Seek help for your mental, just so that you feel comfortable, you feel at ease, you're not beating yourself up about it. It's hard to really give advice. I can only tell you what I've done.
What you've been through.
And what I've done to help me come out of it. But I definitely feel for those women, because I was them, I am them. Just because I have a baby now does not take away from me not wanting my daughter.
Of course.
He did not replace her.
Right.
She lives in him. She sent him, but he doesn't replace her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of like one of the biggest things that you shared with that, because I think that your entire story can offer words of comfort, can provide, or a symbol of comfort, I should say. And your words that you shared, you are not alone. That's powerful. Because you sitting here is proof that they are not alone.
Exactly.
And that statement is just so powerful, because it can always be an ongoing reminder that friends watching, friends listening, you are not alone. You will never be alone. Your story is individual to you, but there are so many individual stories out there.
No matter how you got that angel baby, we both have an angel baby. No matter how many miscarriages you had, we all have miscarriages. No matter at what point your miscarriage happened, someone was on that same point at least once. So you're never going to be alone in thinking that it's only you, something is wrong with you. It's never going to happen for you. Unfortunately, it might not happen how you want it to happen. I didn't want it to happen like this. So it might not happen how you want it to happen, but it can happen.
And with that, similar to your continuation of your motherhood journey with your baby boy, with Jet, motherhood looks different for everyone. Looks different for so many. And your motherhood story is still shaping. This first Mother's Day is going to be indescribable, as we say so far. So you'll be able to update me after that happens. But I guess TBD. It's one for the books.
Yes, it is.
What would you say, if you could, you love most about motherhood right now?
Motherhood is amazing. It's hard. It's incredible. It has its moments. But I think the best part is when I pick my son up from school, or he gets dropped off. We've been away for however long, and he looks at me and starts laughing, and his hands go out. I just want to. And sometimes he grabs my face and pulls it to him, and he kisses me. It's just those moments of him knowing that I will always be there, and he's mine, and I'm his. It gives me that love, and that unconditional love that I think I've always wanted. You get that from parents, but it's a whole different thing from your kid.
That's amazing. What would you say is one thing that you're looking forward to about motherhood in the future?
I'm not gonna say more babies, because we don't know that. But I just think just watching him grow, I can't believe he's gonna be one next month. That is wild. It's so wild. So it's just watching him grow. And because he was born premature, he is a little behind in some areas. So it's amazing that every day it seems like it's something new that he does. But yeah, just watching him grow, see who he's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know, it's different just watching your son grow. Like I can't believe he's about to be 1.
Yeah.
I've been packing away his winter clothes that have been 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and I'm like looking at him like, where did my baby go? Like it's they say a lot can happen in a year, but it just flashes before your eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see who is going to become. He's going to be a football, I know that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just want to know, who Jack's going to be.
Who he's going to be.
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting. That's special.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Damika. This has been an amazing conversation.
It has. Like I said, it's been therapeutic.
Yeah. I would say I feel that within myself. I feel like I'm freed, and this is not my story, this is your story, but I feel connected to you through your story. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and share your story with me and with the many other people that are going to watch and listen to this story, because I don't think that we have any idea how many people that your story is going to touch. And that's, I can't even say like today or just tomorrow, a few weeks from now, a few months from now, a few years from now, where they say, hey, I came across Damika's story and this meant so much to me. I needed this in this moment. So it's extremely powerful.
Thank you for having me.
You're
It's
welcome.
an honor to just share my story, and I hope to be, like I said, inspiration, a blessing to someone else.
Yeah, well, you definitely will be. So
Thanks.
thank you. And so before I let you go, I think we know how to do this. We've done this once before.
Yes.
But just to close out our conversation, Damika, what does putting on your big girl panties mean to you? What does that look like in your life?
Whew. In my life, putting on my big girl panties, I think I've been doing that for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes I couldn't get them up. But now that I have them up, I've gotten through a lot of stuff that broke me. But I think now putting on my big girl panties is sitting here, being brave, as someone might say, and telling my story in hopes that it helps someone else.
Yeah.
It's leaving her, going home, and taking care of my baby. It's being the best mother I can possibly be. It's being everything to my son. It's making him proud.
Yeah.
And it's being very proud of myself. I'm very proud of who I am now versus then. I've come a long way in maturing from my losses, my gains, figuring out my strengths and weaknesses through this process. So yeah, I have my big girl panties on completely now.
Yeah, you absolutely do. You absolutely do. I hear that. And you wear them well.
Thank you.
So, thank you for sharing a bit of your story with us today.
Thank you for having me.